Let me begin with a story. When I was in college, many years ago, I was in my first year and I was studying with a senior, and we were preparing for the upcoming exam. So, just to help me out, she turned and asked me, Swasti, what all topics are you studying? And I said, everything. And she looked at me and said, are you mad? That's not how you study for an exam. And that's when I learned that studying for an exam is very different from understanding or studying the subject. This knowledge has helped me in a lot of ways. Over the years, I've accumulated a lot of degrees. I've even ranked at the university level. I've done my PhD. And since 2021, I have been training teachers for the CTET so that they can clear it in their first attempt. So, who is this video for and what would you learn from this video? This video is for anybody who's preparing for the CTET, whether it's paper 1 and paper 2. Please see this before you start preparing. And what will you get out of it? So hopefully two things. Not only will it deeply analyze the 2024, 21st January 2024 paper, but I would also like to give you three takeaways. Once you've understood how the paper structure was, what is it that you learn and what is it that you take forward? Now, the structure of the video will be like this. I'll be first analyzing the CDP, both paper 1 and paper 2. Then the languages. I start with English and Hindi. So, whether you have English as your language 1 or as language 2, this will be helpful. Whether you're studying it for paper 1 or paper 2, this will be useful. And the same goes with Hindi. And then onwards, I will be doing maths and EVS, which is basically for paper 1 students. If you are a paper 2 student who has social science as your option, I've done a separate video totally on social science. And after this, you can watch that. And if you are a student of paper 2 who has math science, then I'm sorry, right now I don't teach maths and science. So you will get the takeaway for only CDP, English and Hindi. I'll be putting timestamps onto the description of the video, so you can always go to whichever suits you. But with this, let's dig in. Before my students start studying, and even during the webinars, what they ask me is language 1 more difficult than language 2? Is paper 2 more difficult than paper 1? And I always tell them that they are very similar. It all depends on how you have prepared, what are the topics you have done. And if you keep such things in your mind, that one language is more difficult than the other, then what happens is, and this is a very serious mistake which I see students making, is that when they are preparing and doing their PYQs, the previous year papers or previous year questions, they do not take the help of the language 2 paper if anybody is studying for that language 1. They do not take help or they do not solve the language 2 papers or the paper 2 or paper 1. So I feel that if you're going to be solving, say, the August 2023 paper or even the 21st Jan 24 paper, take and do the entire paper. Do the language 1, do the language 2, do paper 1, do paper 2. So within that, you have so